We're in Macomb Township, Michigan, installing what could be an easy DIY French drain. I'm going to take you guys along, show you what the guys did. Beautiful work by this team. This crew and the men that make up this crew are some of the very best when it comes to yard drainage in the country, recognized for their impeccable work. Let's go through the system together. All right, so right now the guys are not in the way. I wanted to show you what they did. So they pocketed everything with the fabric. We have our 4-inch to 3.5 reducer. We have a dual wall sleeve cemented in the side of the storm drain. Always do this. I see a lot of people just run a pop-up emitter right here, but the whole system's going to hold water, and then the roots to these arborvitae are going to love that. So we're going to drain this out because we went through the sidewall of the storm drain. You have to do that. It's really important. So we did all of this with just Y fittings. You know, the guys, they wide the 2 pipes together right here. I like going 2 pipes wide, and I like having a larger air pocket that the 2 pipes provide us. Now we just did 1 pipe for the branch lines. They're just as wide. There's going to be more stone in there. But we have copper under the fabric. We got copper fabric because the roots are going to be a problem. Water lays in here. This swale was very defined at one point, but what happened was they put this landscape in, so they added dirt. Well, as soon as you add dirt to a designated swale, you're done. So a lot of job security for drainage contractors when it comes to landscape in yards. So the guys are going ahead and they're clipping with the French Drainman Quick Connects. We want these pipes to be as straight as possible. If the pipes are nice and straight, you're going to flow more water per minute. Every time a pipe zigs and zags, it slows the water flow down. These are not zip ties. These are Quick Connects. The guys can snap them on in seconds. They're inexpensive. I highly recommend all DIYers to use our Quick Connects. We have a big crew. We're always 6 to 8 guys. You don't want to be out here just 1 or 2 of you and you're trying to keep these pipes nice and straight when you're dumping stone. Just takes a second to connect one of these. It's real easy. A lot easier than zip ties.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely, by far.
Look at that, how straight those 2 pipes are. So there's 3.5-inch pipe, some Y fittings, some Quick Connects, a couple of cleanouts on this main. Always have cleanouts on your main. So the guys got cleanouts on the 3.5-inch pipe. This is 8 slot. You can see all the inlet. If you don't want to put them on the branch lines, I'm fine with that, especially little branch lines like this. We just use an end plug. People always want to know, what are all the parts you use? Well, we got end plugs on all the branch lines because we don't want stone to fill up in the end. We have Y fittings so that we have really good flow with the water. The Y fitting helps the water go in the direction you're asking it, in the direction of flow. We have 1% slope on the bottom of our main trench. We have 1% slope on our branch lines. Now, our main line gets deep down here, so you notice how the branch lines, because we're already getting so deep on the main, they start to drop in. Well, they're going to really draw in water. That works great when you get to that point where you have a lot of drop like that. The guys did a great job here. I mean, there's nothing that I could pick apart on it. It's beautiful, really. I mean, it's picture perfect, nice and neat and clean. everything. I mean, not that we'll ever really need to service this, but if we have to, if the homeowner one day says, hey, I don't think it's flowing water like it used to, I can run a camera through the cleanout. And if need be, a jetter. Beautiful little DIY French drain. A husband and wife can do this. A father and son can do this. We got 60 feet. 60 feet. So we have 2 pipes in the main, so there's 120 feet of pipe. Then that way you're having to put in less stone. If you want to put 4 pipes in so that you have more volume, more air, you can. And then it's less stone that you're hauling. Always use the fabric. I see guys not using the fabric and they just put a sock on the pipe. You're going to clog the stone and the water's never going to make it to the pipe. What does a sock do? Nothing. It does nothing. Matter of fact, the only thing a sock will do is if there's little pieces of stone chips, it'll prevent that from plugging your perforations. So that's what the sock would do if you don't have good screened stone. We have good, screened washed stone. We know what to buy. We know what to ask for. Really nice, simple, easy. I mean, working with this 3.5 inch pipe reduces your labor by 50%. You don't have to go as deep. You can start shallower, and it's so easy to pull this through. All our pipes are so heavy. When you have a 4-inch extra heavy duty, it's work to pull that pipe. It's effortless to pull this 3.5. Really nice system. Anybody can mock this system. You need some Ys, some end plugs, some quick connects, and some 3.5 inch. Couple cleanouts. We got a 3.5 to 4 reducer. And that's it. You can rent the unit that cores these at Home Depot. That's what Home Depot is great for. You can go and rent a big Makita with a 5-inch hole saw that's made for concrete, goes right through the wall here. You're all set. Then you can slip a piece of dual wall or Schedule 40, 4-inch, whatever it is you want to do. We like the dual wall sleeve, so we put the dual wall through there, hydraulic concrete it in. Always use the hydraulic water stop concrete. You do not need to tape anything. Our fittings hold so good, you do not need to tape anything. No tape in this whole system. It's a perforated system. We're trying to take the water in. We're not trying to keep the water from leaking out. Always hold the pipe down. It's nice and straight. They're going to stay together. But you always want to have a couple guys with shovels holding that pipe in place. The stone will try to get under the pipe. You'll lose that perfect slope you worked so hard for. Leave the stone a little low. You want to put some really good drain sand on top of your fabric. Right now we're pinning the fabric on top, and we're also cutting excess fabric. The reason why we're cutting excess fabric, there's little tiny holes in the fabric. You can see them. Look at that. Is ridiculous. Double punched. All those needle holes. This is fabric that we have custom made. They cut the strips off because if you have too much overlap, all those little holes can't line up. You're going to lose your permeability if those holes. Right here's a good example. We overlap about 3 inches and that's it. That's all you want. The water's going to run right through these little holes. They're going to run right through these little holes. It's not going to run right here where it's overlapped because you can't line those holes up. It's impossible. There's thousands and thousands of needle punch little holes. So that's why we'll go ahead and trim that excess. You just want a few inches of overlap. So leave yourself a couple inches for drain sand. You want a good drain sand that's highly permeable. Then you can put your sod back on. We always cut the sod as thick as we possibly can. Whatever your sod cutter happens to be, whatever you rent, it doesn't matter the make or brand. You set it on its deepest notch. See all the root and dirt that the guy's got. And who cares if it's clay back? We don't care because we got the sand. So the clay can't plug the non-woven geotextile filter fabric. That's double punched. Got copper in the fabric, and we got copper sock under the fabric. Right here you can see how the men left the stone a little low. They need room for the sod and the drain sand. Remember to get a really good drainage sand. What is drainage sand? Drainage sand is sand that's been washed twice. They have to wash it to get any clay sediment out of it. Sands have a lot of clay sediment. That's going to affect its ability to drain. I've seen water pool up on sand with clay sediment. Always stand on your pipe. Remember, if it's extra heavy duty, you're not going to collapse the pipe. The guys walk on the pipe before the stone, they're on the pipe. Once it does have stone, it doesn't matter. It's extreme duty. We don't sell heavy duty pipe, and we don't make heavy duty pipe. That's not good enough. What the industry is willing to accept for heavy duty pipe doesn't work for us. Everything we make is extra heavy duty or extreme extra heavy duty. Those are the two pipes that we have. If you can, you want to stretch the fabric, because the fabric will have a lot of wrinkles in it, and that'll affect it too. So the guys, they really got it pulled tight. You know, they got trimmed and stretched and pulled tight. Beautiful job. If you miss one thing, if you're off with just one thing, the drain doesn't perform as well. That's your reputation. These guys don't cut corners. They get it right each and every time. So sometimes when you dig with an excavator, and possibly by hand too, you'll get some undermining under the sod. Like literally some dirt will fall out. When the guys are building the French drain, like that stone is on top of the fabric, that was just to fill a void from some undermining. Look how much sand they put on top. We give the client their money's worth in pipe and stone. If you're a drainage contractor and you can't give your client 10-year warranty, something's wrong. When your French drains are failing in 2 years' time, something's wrong. And everybody knows what a failed French drain looks like. It looks like a French drain that was built with one pipe, only wide enough for one pipe, less stone, and then even putting some of the dirt back in. You have to haul away all the dirt. Do you see dirt piled up on either side of this trench? No, because we hauled it all away. We're not going to put any of the dirt back in. All right, here's our gooseneck dump. So that little tiny 60-foot French drain, look at all the dirt that came out. Pretty amazing, huh? I mean, this is a big, this is a gooseneck. Look at that. So that's not a little dump trailer, it's a big one. All that dirt came out of that little 60-foot drain. And we replaced all the dirt that we took out with pipe and stone. That's how you build a French drain that's going to last forever. If you have a contractor and he's not hauling away all the dirt, get him out of your yard. Do not let him be a part of your project before he screws up the money that you put aside for that project. We see it all the time. These guys come in, they're not equipped, they can't haul away all the dirt. They don't want to dig very much dirt out. They don't want to haul away very much dirt, and they don't want to sell you very much stone. Even though they charged you for it, they're going to shortchange you on stone. We give our clients their money's worth. These drains, we've been putting them in for 40 years. The first one works as good as the last one. The guys are piecing the sod back in. Look how nice that is. Unbelievable. All this construction, and you can hardly tell it was done. stand on the pipe and pull the stone towards you. So our 1550 won't fit through here. So here's our 1050. Here we go. Imagine doing this every pass when you're taking out the dirt and the clay. And now you got to do it again every pass. Got to watch the light. Got to watch the house. Got to get the bucket. Now, look at this. Threading the needle. Threading the needle. Like, these guys drive this stuff every day, so they could scratch your back with these tools. But that's why we got a 1050 right there.
If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. It supports the channel. If you have any questions about yard drainage, leave them in the comments section. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood, and until the next video.